Get ready for an absolute showdown, because the Spurs and the Thunder are locked in for what promises to be the series of the decade. We are diving deep into the matchup between Wemby and Shai as they battle for the title, examining the crucial rebounding battles and the free throw rate showdowns that could completely flip the script in this epic clash. Roller coaster starring the Muppets. We're breaking down the capacity issues and telling you exactly which date you need to secure right now to catch those previews. And finally, we turn to the NBA spotlight as SGA secures his second consecutive MVP award. We break down the incredible season performance of Gilgeous-Alexander and weigh in on the intense rivalry brewing as he faces the reigning champion and Victor Wembanyama in the Western Conference Finals. Don't miss this analysis. Tune in now. Noi Dung Kai Tight. The highly anticipated matchup between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs promises to be a defining series, potentially reshaping the landscape of the NBA. This clash pits a team that has reached the pinnacle against a contender nipping at their heels, with both sides capable of upsetting the established order. The outcome of this rivalry, featuring superstars like Victor Wembanyama and Gilgeous-Alexander, could determine the best team in the world. /N key statistical battles will heavily influence the series. Rebounding has emerged as a crucial factor, with San Antonio showing significant advantages in second-chance opportunities, scoring 13 more second-chance points in regular season matchups and securing more offensive and defensive rebounding opportunities across 5 games. Dominating on the glass could prove vital for the Spurs. /N in the free throw category, the teams are neck and neck, with San Antonio holding a slight edge in defensive free throw rate, though the difference is marginal. This suggests a tight contest at the end of possessions. /N Victor Wembanyama remains a polarizing figure, showcasing a walking mismatch against many opponents. Against the Thunder, his presence has severely hampered OKC's offensive efficiency, as the team's shot attempts around the rim dropped significantly when Wembanyama was on the floor. Conversely, the Spurs have effective defensive rotations that neutralize Wembanyama's mobility, forcing him into difficult shots. /N Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's effectiveness is also under scrutiny. The Spurs' perimeter defenders have successfully contained his drives, forcing him into lower percentage shots, suggesting Wembanyama's presence is also limiting SGA's offensive freedom. /N for the Thunder. A potential strategy involves utilizing Gortat screens to disrupt Wembanyama's positioning, a tactic they have shown success with. However, the Spurs possess capable counters, and Oklahoma City's coach has time to devise a sophisticated game plan, potentially involving a hybrid approach with Chet Holmgren or Isaiah Hartenstein to exploit Wembanyama's positioning. /N offensively, Wembanyama's gravity is a massive asset, creating open lanes for San Antonio's guards. The Spurs have demonstrated exceptional efficiency at the rim, making a high percentage of attempts in that area, which Wembanyama's presence amplifies. /N the most critical stylistic battle will revolve around turnovers. The Spurs have demonstrated an ability to neutralize the Thunder's offensive flow by matching the physicality of the backcourt, preventing OKC from generating turnovers. The Thunder must decide whether to maintain a conservative defensive approach to limit turnovers or revert to their aggressive scheme, which risks conceding more three-point attempts to the Spurs. This tactical decision will likely be the deciding factor in the series. Highgate Wood, a new audio drama from Palimpsest Productions, is set to debut across all podcast platforms and streaming services on May 18th. The 8-episode series delves into the world of the fictional 1970s prog rock band and the devastating aftermath of the tragedy that caused their dissolution. The show is written by Jamison Ridenauer and stars Haley Henninger, Jack Ayers, Alastair Stewart, Bate Eyre, Dan Bottomley, and Amber Devereaux, with blues rock singer-songwriter Andrew Scotchy providing the voice of the band. This project follows the story of Highgate Wood, which gained prominence in the early 1970s through the talents of frontman Sean Underwood, guitarist Peter Van Conklin, and keyboardist Corinne Kennedy. The band achieved success by blending artsy prog rock with mainstream melodies before abruptly disbanding in 1975, following a studio fire that led to Corinne's death, Peter's descent into madness, and Sean's suicide. Years later, Peter's daughter, Patty, becomes haunted by the ghost of Corinne Kennedy. Driven by fear that she might follow the same destructive path as her father, Patty embarks on an investigation to uncover the truth behind the fateful night the band self-destructed, which forms the core of the 8 episodes. In tandem with the audio drama, a full album of music from the fictional band will be released digitally, on streaming platforms, and on vinyl. The release, titled Very Best of Highgate Wood, features music composed by Jamison and Ian Ridenauer and was produced by Kari Ests, bassist for the prog metal band Atomic Guava. Further details regarding the show and album are available at highgatewoodband.com. Hollywood Studios Park reservations for the Rock and Roller Coaster, starring the Muppets preview dates are extremely limited. Annual pass holders planning to utilize the 7.00 virtual queue distribution must be aware that reservations for May 21 and May 22 are currently at capacity. May 23 remains the sole remaining date, with Hollywood Studios' availability across the 3-day preview period. The May 22 date filled up independently, coinciding with the launch of the updated Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run. May 23 is the final opportunity for pass holders to secure a park reservation for the 7:00 a.m. distribution, and booking is advised immediately as demand is high. For those without reservations on May 21 or 22, alternative virtual queue distributions are available at 11:00 a.m. and 3:00 p.m. on all 3 preview days. Pass holders seeking maximum flexibility should secure a reservation for May 23. The Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets is scheduled to open to the public on May 26, 2026, following DVC member priority access on May 24. Gilgeous-Alexander has secured his 2nd consecutive NBA MVP award, marking his 14th career back-to-back honors and making him the 5th guard to achieve this feat. The recognition comes amidst a competitive landscape, with debate centering on the selection process. While some observers favor Victor Wembanyama, the consensus leans toward SGA due to his exemplary consistency throughout the regular season and leading his team to the best record in the league. Commentators highlight SGA's sustained excellence, contrasting it with Wembanyama's late-season surge. One analyst noted that while Wembanyama experienced an incredible run in the final weeks, the MVP award traditionally rewards performance over the entire regular season, a metric where SGA excelled. The disparity in playing time, SGA averaging 33.2 minutes compared to Wembanyama's under 30 minutes, is cited as a factor, as voters often prioritize the player who runs the majority of the game. Despite the debate, the narrative shifts to the Spurs, who are now advancing to the Western Conference Finals against the reigning champions and 2-time MVP, Victor Wembanyama. The upcoming series promises to be highly competitive. The focus now turns to how Wembanyama will perform against SGA in these high-stakes matchups, and whether the on-court statistics in the conference finals will alter the perception of the MVP race. The Spurs community is energized as they head into a potentially heated series.